Hey, so have you been watching this content that says people are mirrors? And they're just mirroring back to you the problem within yourself and everything that's happened in your life, where you're at in your life right now. It's all because of you and it's your fault. Wrong. I want to explain to you why this concept is completely false. It's not accurate. I want to help you understand these very fine details that are making you feel like you're the problem, because I want to assure you social anxiety is not your fault. I'm going to explain to you exactly why that is in this video. And if you're already a part of our community, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rubin. I'm a transformational coach. This community, it's dedicated to helping you become who you were meant to be by reducing your social anxiety, owning your worth, and developing that fearless self-expression that you want to. So if that's something that you resonate with, welcome home. You're in the right place. Now, this mirror principle, basically what it is, it's this idea that the people that you're interacting with, the people you're trying to have conversations with, these reactions that you're having, these triggers that you're having, the whole principle is basically the fact that it's not about the other people. What they're actually acting as is a mirror, and they're reflecting back to you what needs to be healed within yourself. So for example, I think we all intuitively know this. So you go into work, you have an authority figure there. He's this powerful masculine male, for example. And whenever you come into contact with him, you get extremely nervous. You go into fight or flight. You stumble on your words. You start behaving like a little child inside. And it's not that he's a dick. He might be a dick. He might be an asshole. I get it for sure. But the principle states that he's simply a mirror. He's acting as a mirror, and he's reflecting back to you, for example, this abusive and authoritarian father that you grew up with. So he's acting as the mirror. That's the reflection that you need to take a look at. And again, I think this is an amazing opportunity here. It's a double-edged sword. But the opportunity, if you have the right process, if you have the right back-end system, if you have the right support system, you can use this as an opportunity. Think about it this way. This, in the presence of this authority figure at work, you're trying to interact with him, you're feeling extremely nervous, you feel like a little kid inside, you hate the fact that he has this power over you. And if you can use the reflection, to find and discover what it is within yourself that needs to be healed, and you can heal this up, the subconscious thing here, this childhood programming, you can go back into that presence with that authority figure and keep your shoulders up. You can look him straight in the eye. You can interact with him man to man. Stand within your power. Don't fade. Don't play small. You can interact with him as an equal. Think of what a beautiful thing that is. But the one thing I want you to be careful of is that this principle, the mirror principle, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. And the other way that this can be taken is that people are mirrors, and basically what they're mirroring back to me is that I'm the problem and it's my fault. And this simply isn't the case here. Okay, and so to illustrate why it's not your fault, I want to share this moment I had on a coaching call with one of my students a while back. We were working through, he was working in retail, and every conversation that he was having, he was experiencing so much rejection inside. People's facial reactions, the way they would be a bit standoffish towards him, the reactions to him, he would constantly feel this overwhelming rejection inside him. And then we started looking, that's the reflection. And then we started looking briefly at where it was coming from. And as a young child, as a little boy, he would want to hang out with his father, who would reach out for connection, would reach out for love. And his father was emotionally unavailable. It was absolutely Heartbreaking for the young boy. Completely heartbreaking. He felt like there's something wrong with him, like I'm not worthy enough to be paid attention to. And he experienced this overwhelming rejection that was surfacing in his retail job when he would try to interact with all of the different customers and his coworkers. Okay, and so he's now more aware. He can see where that reflection, where it's pointing to, and he can see where that rejection, where the seed was planted for him. And then he goes on to watch more content, and he sees this mirror principle, and he comes back, and on the next call he's like, yeah, Rubin, I get it. He's so confident in himself. Yeah, I finally get it. People are mirrors. And I say, yes, 100%. And he's like, yeah, I get it, 100%. I can see that I was the problem. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I let him keep talking. He's like, I can see that they were just pointing to where the problem was, and me as that young little boy, we're talking like 3 years old, I was the problem. And I stopped him right there. I said, whoa. Okay, that is not the level of understanding of this mirror principle that you want to have. Let's deepen this. Let's keep deepening this, because that is completely inaccurate. Okay, you're not the problem, and I need you to understand this. What happened to you as a young child and a teenager is not your fault. That is not your fault. The child is there to be protected. The child is there to be nurtured. The child is there to be loved. The child is there to be cared for. If you didn't receive that, that is not your fault, and I need you to get this. You cannot blame yourself for developing that rejection, those feelings of rejection, that fear of rejection within you. Because who inflicted the wound was his father, his masculine father, the man's man, who was emotionally unavailable and used toxic masculinity as another mask to wear and hide behind for the fact that he wasn't in touch with his emotions from his own upbringing. So what did he do? He projected this false mirror, this false reflection onto a precious, naive, and completely innocent young boy. And so I want to ask you again, whose fault is it? Is it the little 3-year-old's fault? Of course not. So you might be thinking, well, it's the dad's fault. And you might be getting into this blame culture or trying to place the fault somewhere. And I want to open up your mind here again, because this is not about faulting yourself. It's not about faulting other people. Take fault, take blame out of your vocabulary, take it out of your energy, take it out of all the agendas you have to transform your personality. Now, blaming, for example, dad, well, he never got the love and support either, or clearly he wouldn't be emotionally unavailable. So he didn't get it either. Okay, so maybe it's his dad's fault. Okay, so if we keep going back, a lot of us come from roots of oppression. We come from ethnic groups and these different lineages where we're coming from oppression, slavery, genocide, war times. Okay, so then it must be that other group's fault. Okay, and you can keep going down this rabbit hole, and you're never going to find whose fault it truly is. But the nature is his father. Maybe if he had the resources, maybe if he grew up in a time where mental health was a more accepted thing and he could get help, and he didn't feel like he had to hide behind this shadow side of his masculine self. Maybe if he did the work, he could have shifted that. He could have took responsibility that he was out of touch with his emotions, emotionally unavailable, checked out. He could have worked on that and been more present with his son. For whatever reason, he wasn't able to do that. And I want to help you understand this. Coming back to the opportunity now. Yes, it wasn't your fault. The 3-year-old, are you kidding me? It's not your fault. Teenager, whatever you went through, it's not your fault. But you have this opportunity. You, out of all people, I'm guessing for you, you could be the one person in your family to shift this entire generational pattern. This is the opportunity. This is the power that you literally have in your hands. By putting a system in place, by putting a process in place, by putting a support structure in place so that you can go back, okay, and look at these different wounds. And when you take care of these different wounds, you can be responsible for how you react to that authority figure at work. And when you can take responsibility, when you can be in an empowered place and not reacting and not being triggered by him anymore, you're in control of what you experience in the world going forward. So do you have the courage to do this deep work? Do you have the courage to face this thing? The courage that your dad and your parents and your family and everybody else in your life, these other friends that are still asleep, do you have the courage to do this work yourself? I think you do. I think you do have the courage. If you didn't have the courage, you wouldn't be watching this video. So what I encourage you to do, put down that distorted mirror, that mirror that was being held up by these wounded people, giving you a distorted self-image of yourself. Put that mirror down, incorporate a support structure, incorporate a system that has a more accurate reflection of yourself. People in your life who can give you a more accurate reflection of who you truly are. So you can look in the mirror and actually like yourself. What a crazy concept, hey? Actually looking in the mirror and liking yourself. And it all comes down to updating that distorted image. And that's what I want to help you do. In order to do that, I want to offer you a free masterclass. The link is below the video. Make sure you take that masterclass because I want to show you exactly how to put down that distorted image, those constant feelings of rejection, for example, that you're feeling. How to let that go and update this distorted self-image, get a more accurate reflection. I want to give that reflection to you so that when you go to that authority figure at work, you're no longer controlled by him. You're no longer feeling inferior and like a little kid inside him. No, you stand up, shoulders back, head up, strong eye contact. You speak to him man to man, not like a little child. Think of how that would feel. Whew, just priceless. And if you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you watching the video up until this point. Here's another video that you can check out next. I encourage you to watch this video because it shows you how that self-hatred is passed down through the generations and how to shift that pattern from running. Remember, you're the one that's gonna shift the entire pattern for your whole family. You have the power. You're the one that's awake. You're the one that has the courage to do this work. So again, thanks for watching. Keep it real out there, and I will see you soon in the next video, all right?